What's going on, everybody? Hygro Hybrid. We are setting up another room for the side-by-side, and if you're wondering what happened to the last side-by-side grow, we didn't complete it due to a heat issue. There was a problem with the chiller. We basically, long story short, we had a little heat stroke, and the plants didn't make it. So we're going to start fresh with a new spot because this room is more accessible when it comes to dealing with heat issues. You can run the chiller. We got a dedicated, 100 amp panel there. We also got an Aircon 2-ton mini split. So before I get any further, before we start really laying the grass here and the plastic, I want to show you guys what it looks like. And all this is 120. And that's a GF5 because we're going to run the chillers on that, and some more 120s over there for miscellaneous gear, the fans. We're also going to run, obviously, CO2. We're going to run a Titan Helios 3 that's the one with the timer built into it. It's a 240 4-light controller. Basically everything that you've seen in the last room, this room is going to be, but better. This AC right here will just freeze you out. It's so cold. So I got to get the plastic up on the walls and get the room put together. And then I know it's a big disappointment for everybody, but it is what it is. And we just basically got to start fresh. And like I said, this gives me the chance to actually make this room more self-efficient, and we won't be running into any more problems here in the future. So when we get this plastic up, I kind of showed you guys how to do that, how I do it on the last video. I'm sure you can find that. But start in your corner and staple all your top first. You can cut your whatever you need to cut out. And I'll be cutting that out. I'll be cutting that box out right there, and all these receptacles. So, and we'll move forward from that. Then after you do that, tack the bottom. All right, guys. Alright, I guess I'm going to walk you guys through setting up this room step by step, kind of. So we hung the plastic, we started in the corner, we got here. Now I'm going to cover this window with some Panda, then we're going to put drywall over that, and then we're going to continue with running the plastic around the room. So cut yourself a length to accommodate around the window, staple that, and then you can put some underlayment tape. I'll show you that here in a second. And start there by getting that window sealed off, and then we'll hang the drywall. Alright, now that we got the plastic hung on the window, and like I said, start at the top, run your staples. We're going to use underlayment tape just to seal it off from any kind of condensational moisture that might build up on the window. You don't want that going to the window, especially if you're going to be running this room sealed with CO2. It's going to be a lot of humidity and so forth. So this is the next step. Run that around the sides. We got the plastic on the wall, the underlayment tape, and stapled. So what we've done is go ahead and cut yourself a length of drywall to hang over the window as well. You probably don't have to do this, but just ensures no light, absolutely no light is going to get to this window. And this plastic and underlayment tape is for any kind of humidity or moisture issues between the outside environment and your inside environment. Can possibly cause a condensational buildup. So what we're going to do now is hang this board. So find your studs, and I've already marked them here and on the bottom. There and there, all the way along the bottom. So when we do hang this, I can hit all stud to the drywall. And after that, that's pretty much it. Then we'll continue running this plastic. I'll cut that out and run it around the room. Also cut the electrical box out and stuff. So this is kind of what we're getting into, and we're going to get it done. Alright, let's hang this up. Alright, well, what we got here is we got the underlayment tape with Panda film first. Okay, so what that did is seal off the window from any kind of moisture, kind of like a moisture barrier in a bathroom. Then we got the I think this is like 3/8 drywall. We got 3/8. standard drywall. I didn't get the fireboard or anything. And then we got, obviously we got this, but it, you know, I just put it where the AC was, you know, so it kind of block a little bit more heat if there is any to come through the window. But I want to share with you guys a little trick that was shared with me a long time ago. I know they got, everybody's seen one of these, a stud finder. It's a stud finder trick. Everybody's seen these and they work, but you really got to know your studs and where they're going to be in order for that thing to really work. You really got to know, you know, construction to some degree. So basically what I have here is a magnet. If you're looking to find your studs, this will do it for you. If you're running plasterboard, basically plasterboard nails are in the wall and it's just texture over that. So looking for your studs, you know, for instance, I know a stud's right here, so the magnet's going to stick to the plasterboard nail because the plasterboard nail is fastening the drywall to the stud. So you can pretty much run this magnet wherever and that will be your stud. And then you can run your line all the way down and fasten whatever you're trying to fasten to the wall. You can do that with gear, conduit, and miscellaneous, you know, fixture boxes. And for instance, like I drew my line down here. I know that there's another stud right there. And what this is a computer magnet. Is a magnet from a hard drive. If you have an old hard drive, you can rip the hard drive apart, and this is what you're going to find is like a really strong earth magnet that goes through drywall, just like that. And you basically know there's your stud. A little trick that was shared with me years ago, passed on. Alright guys, let me finish getting this up. We're going to continue running the plastic and then I'll get back on tape with you. Alright guys, the plastic's hung. We took this plastic, we just kind of took it out of the last room and used it up here. There's no sense in throwing it away. And we cut all the way around the AC. We got everything sealed, you know, triple, quadruple sealed up in there. There's nothing coming in and out of that window at all. Kind of take you around the room. We got our sub panel box, and that's about it. Yeah, we're just gonna cut some miscellaneous receptacles. Basically, we don't have to do that. We can run this entire room off of what we have right here in this sub panel. But you know, it's just a convenient thing to have on hand for miscellaneous fans and whatnot, or a pump or some shit. And that's it. But we're just gonna stop the plastic right there because there's never gonna be any plants or lights over here. This is basically an equipment area, and that's that. I'm gonna hang a 2x4 half-inch particle board on this wall. We're gonna mount all our ballast and our light controller equipment to that, and we're gonna just get on with it. So this is a GFI outlet also for you know, if we have to run the chiller, vice versa, it's actually connected to this one. So that's it. Right now we're just gonna, well, it's fucking cold as shit in here too. So we're gonna finish taping this carpet. We use double-sided carpet tape to the floor. All right, guys. The next move is to get the recirculating system in here and get it all running, and then we'll carry on with setting the scrog nets on the wall. All right. See you in a minute. Alright guys, so what we did is we hung our 2x4 particle board here, and we just went off the stud, and that's pretty much what you see here all the way up. Just use your magnet to find it if you do have one, because it'll stick to the drywall plaster nails just like that. So we got our Helios 3 Titan light controllers. It's a 4-light controller. Multiple, it accepts multiple hoods right there, or ballast, and it also has one timed output. So whatever this is set for, this could be like a light mover, or it could be an exhaust fan. You can plug an exhaust fan or that kind of stuff in here. So basically, when the lights come on, that receptacle will turn on as well. And you also have an on and an off switch for the unit right here. Works pretty well as well. It's a good little feature to be able to shut everything off fast if you need to for some reason. So it is a 240 volt as well. So anyway, everything's hooked up and all the plastic is set. That's it. We're gonna start getting all the fucking gear in here. Get this room ready to go. You know. All right, guys. Same thing again with the magnet. How I'll trace my studs down the walls. We are in the ceiling, so you know. This is what we're looking at. So typically, you know, your ceiling joists will run 24 inches. Sometimes they're closer, depending on the code. But you can see my pencil mark that I made, and that tells me that my studs are running this way. And how we find those marks are with the magnet. But you know, I mean, you don't have to do every little nail, but it'll just give you a general idea that your studs are running this way. What you can do is fasten. Well, depending on what you're doing with your lights, but what I like to do is I will use these studs that are running this way and fasten one 2x4 the length of the room, and then do that in the middle, and then also do it on the right hand side. So that will give me placement for the run coming off of this wall, and I can center this how I like. And which is, I want this 2x4 to be centered 24 inches off of this wall. I want to bring it out. So this is only like 21 inches. So I really want it centered so we can get that the centered over your 4 foot by, I don't know, what is it, 10 feet. Your 4 foot by 10 foot net in here is ultimately what we're going to be doing in the long run. But right now we're just setting up the side by side. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to strap, you know, 3 2x4s this way, and then come back and center our stud for our lights that way. That gives us some options, and we can always adjust it back and forth if we're doing different things in the future. So, good little tip. Again, a hard drive magnet, unless they sell some kind of strong magnet at the store, that might work, but you know, in my experience, they don't. So, old hard drive, guys. That's it. So before we get the hydro system in here, we're going to finish putting up all these cross studs, these braces for lighting, and then we'll get the system in here. But I'll show you what this looks like here in a second once I get some studs fastened to the ceiling. Alright everybody, this was the room that didn't make it. Like I said in the beginning of this video here, that we had basically a heat wave that came through here and destroyed shit, and we had some equipment failure. So that was that. Basically we just didn't finish it. So this room was just sitting silent, just like you see now, just kind of as that fucking storage room. So what we're gonna do now is get all this stuff moved over to the room that is set up with the 2-ton mini split, and you know, the room is equipped and accessible to deal with any kind of heat issues. Stuff that we couldn't do in this room, we can do whatever the fuck we want over in the other room. So that's basically what we've been waiting for, and my apologies on the setback, but in the end we're going to get a badass grow here coming up shortly, and, you know, with the side-by-side LED and high pressure sodium. So my job now is to flip this entire system over into the other room and get that another set side-by-side up, and be done with it, kind of clean everything up. There's a couple more things I want to modify when it comes to the recirculating and the plumbing, but we'll take care of that over there. So let's get it on. It's a damn mess in here right now. There's a lot of work to do. So I'm excited about the mini split and all that shit. So alright, I'm gonna get all this moved over there. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so just a brief little recap. We started with the plastic and the window covering. We got that out of the way. After that, we got our boards up, we hung our lights, and we hung the black dog on the left side. So they're going to be right here. I'll show you guys what's up. Move back up here for a second. So that's what's up right there on the black dog side. Running all the wiring down the center, and then pretty much mirrored on the right side, the opposing side, with blockbuster 8-inch hoods. If we need to, I don't think we're going to need to exhaust out because we're running a 2-ton mini split. But if we absolutely need to exhaust out, then what we can do is I left an option on the back side of this hood to where we can hook 8-inch duct up here and just run it actually out the wall, pretty much. So right now we have in mind just to run open hoods. Whether that happens or not, I don't know yet, depending on the heat factor. So we got our board up with the electrical. We got the electrical mounted and our timer light controller, our Lumitech ballast. And I'm using these only because everybody else seems to like Lumitech for some reason. Not that I have any personal preference to Lumitech. I really don't give a shit. So that's how I feel about that. This extension cord is running the Black Dogs. Nothing's plugged in yet. I'm going to see what else we got going on here. We got a 10-leg power strip right here. And we got our 2 ebb and flow Monsters 55s right here. We're running 2 Merlin 750s, so it's like 1,500 gallons a day of reverse osmosis water. And we got our flow valves to shut that stuff off. And all this stuff is kind of like, this goes together actually. So that's how that works. It's a Y. Also, we got some wall fans that we haven't put up yet. And we're going to put a wall fan right here for the CO2 tank right there, and a regulator and all that fuzzy logic stuff on the wall. Yeah, see what else is going on here. Probably going to end up hanging a fan here and here. And it's pretty much a done deal. All I have to do now is drag that hydro setup in here and pretty much chop it up and then put it back together. That's how it's going to be. And straighten out this flooring here. So that's cool. Alright guys, but that's pretty much how you build a room. I mean, it didn't take all that long to build. If you have all the hardware and all the materials on hand, you can get it done relatively fast, but you're going to need tools. And if you're not handy with tools, it's going to take you even longer. So just to recap on the studs, because I think that's where we left off. I think you might be able to see the pencil marks now, how they run down like that. So this would be a ceiling joist running that way, and I just crossed over on the 24-inch center mark coming out from the wall, which would center the hoods directly over a 4x8 canopy, so to speak. So that's how we're doing it right now. We're pretty much independent when it comes to power on this room. There's actually we're not going to be using, this is just for, just in case we need to hook a wall fan up there. Got to plug out this with some red tape, but that's it, everything is done. And we'll turn on everything tomorrow, get everything turned on, but I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on, because the last go didn't happen. We had some equipment problem, and before we could realize it was just too late. I wish I could tell you guys something else, but that's just what happened, and it took a while to get this room transitioned. We needed to get a big old electrical box installed. We needed to get a mini split, that stuff costs time and money. So alright, give me another day, and probably tomorrow I'll have this room finished with the setup and everything running. So peace out. There's your side-by-side update. Hybrid.